Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you'd like to see me turn my garage from this into this, then just keep watching. So we had just moved into our house last August of 2021, and our garage definitely became our catch-all space for everything, all of our junk. It was definitely the last of our priority list. We renovated the whole house, or had someone renovate our whole house when we first moved in, so the garage never was swept out. There was tons of nails and screws and things everywhere, lots of dust that never got cleaned up, and we had these awesome storage racks that were already in the house when we first bought it, so we just kept those up there, and I knew I wanted to utilize them eventually. But I finally made time to do the garage. It took me a few different weeks because I would come and do it while I was also organizing the rest of the house. But to be honest, the garage was like the last of my priority list. But now it is done, and I'm so excited to show you guys how it turned out. So it is totally a trial and error thing. I have to kind of remove things and put things back and figure out where they go best. I really wanted to organize the garage without having to buy any new bins or anything. We had a ton of storage options already. I wanted to utilize what we already had so we didn't have to spend any extra money. The garage isn't really a place that I care to spend a bunch of extra money. So you definitely can buy your own shelves and things from Home Depot or Lowe's. They have really good sturdy garage shelving, as well as matching bins, which I would love to do eventually. Have all those black bins with labels and everything. So it doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be organized. So tons of things ended up going to donation. I gave a lot of things away to Goodwill. I sold a lot of things. We had a couple garage sales throughout this time. We sold things on OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, and definitely did a few dump runs as well. So enjoy me just purging the garage.
It is not all said and done, and we cannot really run. We're not stuck and we're not free. I wonder if we'll ever be. And stay.
There were so many items that I swear had not even been unpacked from the past two houses that we lived at. So there was a lot of things I found that I didn't even know what they were. They were some of Garrett's things, and I would set aside, Garrett's my husband, so I'd set aside a whole section of his things, and I had him go through and decide what he needed and what he didn't. A big rule of thumb for us is if it hasn't been touched in 6 months, you probably don't need it. And if you're telling yourself, I'm going to keep this just in case, that's another reason to get rid of it as well, because it really doesn't benefit you to have a bunch of extra junk that you don't use, and you don't want to hold on to a bunch of things that are just wasting space in your home. And if you do find that you have used it in the past 6 months, at least once or so, then I think it's something you can hold on to and see if it's worth it to keep in the future. But that's just kind of how I choose to get rid of things. I would rather get rid of more things than not, because it just feels a lot better to have less things in your space, to know where everything's at, and to be able to use your space efficiently. So definitely progress is being made by this point. It kind of looks like it gets worse before it gets better, but I was starting to feel a lot better at this point because I could actually see the floor. And this is us doing some dump runs. We sold our truck from starting this project to this point, so we ended up having to do a U-Haul trip. We just rented it for a day and did a couple dump runs that day, and it was super easy.
Here comes the complications, and now we're slowly fading. I know what's on your mind, but now it's time to move on. Enough with all the answers. There's nothing.
The Habitat people just got here, so we're making progress. There's their truck outside of the window. We are donating all of the countertops, the granite that we replaced, hopefully they want the mirror and also that old shower door. We'll see. So this was the Habitat for Humanity people. They come out to your house. This was our old countertops for my house. We actually tried to sell them, and even at a pretty cheap price, but because the cuts are so specific, a lot of people didn't want them. And they would be very expensive to dump because dump fees are based on weight. And so we ended up calling Habitat for Humanity, and they came out and they'd take it for free. They haul it away. They didn't end up taking all of it, but they did take like probably 80% of it, which was amazing. And so that saved us some money. So we ended up breaking up the rest of it and taking this to the dump. Taking the donations right now. And now it's all gone. much dust and nails, it was kind of defeating to clean all of it up. I would suggest getting a leaf blower if you don't already have one, and blowing away dust if that is something that you guys are dealing with. So this whole section right here was stuff for my husband to go through. He's a pretty busy real estate agent, so he's often very busy when I need him to help me, so I had to set them aside and wait for him to be able to go through it. And he ended up taking 13 boxes of his things from his childhood and just a mixture of his stuff and bringing it down to one box. So that was amazing, purging and just clearing up some space in our garage. He feels a lot better because he just has less stuff to keep track of, and yeah, it feels so good to get rid of things that you just don't love. If it's not bringing value to your life, or you're not actually using it, if it's not something that's necessary, then just let it go, because to be honest, you're probably gonna forget about it within a week. So just let it go. This was a little tool hanging thing I bought a couple years ago at Home Depot, and I just like to have things we use commonly out at all times. So the things I put on that is like a leveler, a hammer, and then some like basic screws. And then I put the rest of our tools in the bin just because we don't use them as often.
So I found myself in tears. Every day was filled with fear. When you feel you wanted more.
Do not take notes from me here. I have no idea what I'm doing, but we just had these little hooks that are supposed to screw into the studs, which I hit the studs on a couple of them, not on the other ones, but I'm not too picky. So this is the end of the garage, and I'm so happy. This was right before we had the garage sale, so all that stuff right there we sold at the garage sale, which we will see the after. We also sold that golf cart because we wanted more space in our garage. So this was like when I finally could see the vision, and I was so excited. But we ended up selling a bunch of stuff at a garage sale that weekend, and then finished the garage the next week. Finishing up our garage gym, we finally got all of our pieces and things hung up. We got the mirror up on the wall, and this was me hanging some LED lights just for some pizzazz. But I'm so excited to finish the garage fully. Once the golf cart is out of the garage, I'll be able to hang the rest of the stuff. But everything is coming together, and it's pretty much in its place, and it's beautiful, and I'm obsessed.
Got to say goodbye. There's an ocean deep and wide.
This is the after. Look at all that floor space. We can park both of our cars in our garage now, which is the best. Those bins up there are actually empty, some of those on the right, so we can use those if I find some uses for them in the future, just to recycle and reorganize the things that we already have. And the garage gym is all finished except the golf cart. Once that's gone, I'll put some more stuff over there, but I'm super happy with how this came out, and it's very satisfying to have a garage that we use every single thing in it, and I just love how it turned out. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like it, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Here comes